Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is the part 2 to the beach getaway that I made a few weeks ago, and I only remembered to do this part 2. I only did this like 3 days ago, but I only remembered to do this part 2 because I was scrolling through my comments on, seeing if there were new comments on one of my videos, and I came across the person who posted that she can't wait. Well, I don't remember, it was he or she, like I saw it at 2 o'clock in the morning, and basically it was just saying they can't wait to see what it's gonna turn out as, and that jogged my memory that I have not finished this build. So here we are finishing this build now, almost I think 3, maybe almost 4 weeks later, but we did it, so it's finished now and it looks pretty. This build, to finish it like this, it actually took me, I think, 2 hours. There's 3 parts in the video that I made, and the first one was I think an hour and a half, and the other 2 were over 3 hours long, I think, if I remember correctly. It's estimated, but I take the part out where it says that it's playing a new video, because I just put it into VLC player, sped it up, and then re-recorded it as one whole video, so it goes a lot quicker and it's a lot easier to do I'm making up new words all the time. Anyway, it's just easier when editing the very long videos, that it's just one long video that I have to edit instead of 3 separate ones, and I click something wrong and then it takes it away. But yeah, minus that, I actually wanted to make all of the houses different colors, but I didn't like how it was turning out, and I liked the dark green a lot, but it wasn't working with the vibe I was going for. And I liked the white with the brick theme I had going on with the main entrance house, can't remember what I called it. I liked that theme that I had going on, so I decided to put that throughout the whole getaway place, and I liked it a lot more in the end like that. Here I'm just trying to match doors, I think doors and windows together with the color so they match each other and make sense, because I wanted a variety of options like you would normally get in a house, but it was kind of difficult, kind of not, because I wanted them to look not, let's say, as twins, but like siblings, but have it make sense still. And I think I got the majority of it correct, so it could make sense of how the stuff was laid out. This part, yeah, I noticed it was very small, and I really didn't feel like changing it at all. There was no motivation to change that part. This house I did have motivation to change that one, because I wanted the windows to work. The other one, it was just a patio, so I didn't feel like changing that. And if I remember correctly, the bricks, I didn't feel like it would make sense that certain windows were placed there, so I placed these windows there, so and they would have a frame, but it wouldn't be a weird frame. Like you wouldn't get random, well, where I am, you get different window frames for when you have a brick wall instead of, let's say, a concrete wall or something like that. But I tried to make it work. Some of them more fancier than others, like this one here. It's a lot more fancier with the windows than the others, but it worked. It all worked in the end, so I was happy and I left it. I really don't, I make these at like 11:30 to like 2 in the morning. That's when I'm sitting and doing this. In actual fact, this was the day after I saw the comment, so I think, I'm not sure, but it's somewhere around there. And I tried, especially this one, I tried to make it seem as if more than just, let's say, 2 people or 2 Sims could live there at a time. Like it was a real apartment place in a place where you can get away to go to the beach. I actually found out I have at a door. I already placed it, but I didn't go into it when I saw it while I was busy with it. But just now I'm watching the video play, so I know when to stop talking. But that elevator door I didn't know I had, and now it makes me want to build more advanced buildings. Like they're not gonna make sense and they're not gonna be functional, but they're gonna be pretty. Like today, well, not today, a few days ago, well, no, let's be honest, the whole of last week till today, I have been saving and downloading new custom content, mainly in the royal family sense. So it's dresses, decor, sims, walls, flooring, decor versions of crowns and shoes and jewelry, all things like that, because I have a craving to make. Okay, I have a folder on my laptop which says Sims builds, and if I remember correctly, I've got folders that is ideas for future builds. There's Bridgerton, there's all the Barbie movies, the classic Barbie movies that I enjoyed while growing up. And now with the movie that came out, though I don't like the movie and it may offend a few people, but I am not a fan of the movie. I think I got 8 minutes in and I couldn't do it anymore. I switched it off and went to something else. But my Pinterest after that started showing me a whole bunch of items that were inspired by Barbie. So there's a whole bunch of things like that. Then there's strawberry shortcake ideas to build a house like that. I don't know if many of you remember Fifi and the flower tots, but there's a folder there for future builds. There's a whole bunch of things. I plan ahead, like I've even today from royalty I've gone to Egypt, and now I want to make something involving Egypt and all those things, all of those type of things, just to keep it interesting. Like I don't want to just build houses, and I get bored of only building the houses, so I wanted to have a whole bunch of options. And since I know people can't download my builds, I have give myself complete, freedom when it comes to building with custom content, because I know nobody can download my build off of the gallery. So even if you guys have recommendations for things you want to see built, you can gladly send it to me on TikTok, on Instagram, or even just comment it and I'll see what I can do. If it sounds like something that would interest me as well, or just give me a challenge to mix and match things to build, I would gladly appreciate it. Before I lose track of what I was saying, because there's 2 things in my head now that I wanted to say but didn't. There's that braai area that I just made there by the barbecues, as you would say in English. How it's laid out there is how it's laid out at almost all the beaches I've been to while growing up. That is like the main layout for all barbecue areas to be held. It's just all of them smushed together, and then a whole bunch of chairs just placed everywhere. And if there isn't any chairs, then it's literally just an empty patch where you can stand there and do what you want. I didn't know what, like I said, I wasn't gonna decorate the insides or anything. That's why I left the roof the way it is in that apartment building as well. That patio deck area that was just on the other build. I actually had no idea what to do with that area, so I just made it into a sunbathing area, half of it, and the other half I just added another barbecue. The lights I didn't want to go crazy with, like I wanted them to make sense and be reasonable. I wanted to put these fairy lights, I don't know if you call them fairy lights, but these ones on the stick, pole, whatever. I wanted to put them hanging from the ceiling of this gazebo, but it didn't work. And I was very disappointed, but then while I was scrolling I saw that I had those weird twirly whirly lights, so those worked perfectly well. And there by the stairs that you just saw, I was very annoyed with those stairs because the wall wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, but I figured it out in the end. This part with the landscaping was my favorite out of the whole build. Putting all the trees and the greenery and the rocks, that's what this tied the whole thing together, and it was very nice for me to do. I kind of just started placing palm trees. You call them palm trees, right? Yes. I kind of just started placing palm trees everywhere, like you would see on a beach, and I wanted to make like a fancy gate area where you would drive in and they would be able to close the gates, but it didn't work because all the gates were too small and they were being rude, so they weren't working. So I decided to change it into a parking lot and just use the fake toy cars for reference, as if people have already stopped there. I keep calling them people, but they're only Sims. Oh well. Anyway, I made it like that, and I thought it turned out cute. Like everywhere we go on vacation is, or from what I've seen, I haven't been to many places, but from what I've seen, they do usually have parking areas for the people that are around. And I didn't look at any photos or anything, so I kind of just winged everything, especially with these bushes, because I wanted, like with that fancy entrance for the cars, I wanted something all around, but I wanted it to make sense. Like you have a boarded off area when you go to the beach, but it's not all boarded off with actual gates. It's usually just greenery and stuff like that that's stopping you. I changed and I cheated the game so it could be summer again and not almost the end of autumn, because I couldn't take the dull lighting anymore. And though it's cozy, it was irritating me because the trees and the greenery weren't looking pretty and they weren't working with my aesthetic going on. So I changed that and I think it looks a lot prettier. Seeing as this is my saved file that's literally only builds, there's no gameplay happening in this one, so it's fine. It's normal. It's just like magic. I wanted to put flowers in. I remember I had planned to put flowers in, but round about this time it was becoming very late and I was starting to get tired, so all I wanted to do was finish, and I talked myself out of putting flowers on and just decided that the yellow flowers on the windowsills were enough. So I just put, I don't know what you call it, it's like this bush that I'm busy with now, it has some flowers in, so it does bring something in, but I wasn't gonna go out in full detail like I usually do when it comes to putting plants. But I like a whole bunch of colors when it comes to greenery and landscaping usually. So this, where it was mainly just green for a build on land, not like the ones in I think it's called Sulani, by the beach, let's just say the beach. There usually I'm more into the green than putting flowers, but I also wanted to, what am I saying? I've lost. Oh, I put a telescope there. It's not functional, but to me it is functional in my head, so it works for them, so they can't complain. But anyway, I wanted to make that a romantic area but decided not to, so I just put the telescope there and made it so that you can look at the stars or across the ocean or some shit like that. That's what I was gonna say. The flowers, I decided not to do them, and I just decided to add something there by adding the chest tables, which worked, and it made it more functional as a lot. So there was stuff to do on the lot besides just walk through it. These signs I completely forgot I had, so I was zooming in and reading on all the signs, and I gave all the different places names, and I thought it would turn out pretty cute. That's a DIY bumper for the cars that I decided to put in as well, to make it as if it's more realistic for the build. I wanted a sign. I in my head I had the vet signs in my head, but I couldn't get them, so I just put that sign on and I shrunk it and put it at the top of the roof, and I thought it worked, so I kept it like that. And then the last thing I decided to do was just add some bikes, like rent bikes that you can get every now and then around the place, and a swing set for the kids. And then just to make it more eco-friendly, in the game I put those down as well. And that was basically the whole build. So I hope you guys enjoyed this build, and I hope you are happy with the end result of how it turned out. I know I am a lot more now. I'm looking at it now fully in the photos that's showing now, and I like what I turned this whole place into. It's not the original look I had going for this place, but everybody's ideas changed, and I'm happy with everything that I got down so early in the morning. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.